Take two. My name is Lana, and I'm here to uplift, inspire, empower, and guide you to your truest potential. Because the truth is you're here for a reason. I was going over the keys, unlocking the keys, and I'm going to just share what came through today regarding the mindset and mindset matters. So this is a continuation from the previous video, and I hope that you gain as much wisdom from this as what was channeled through me. Because essentially, I've spoken about mind and how it creates matter, that our thoughts are currency, that it's energy, and that where attention goes, energy flows. And if you don't mind, it doesn't matter, which that essentially means if your attention is not going towards something, then it's not going to become matter. It's not going to be manifest into form. But when you prioritize your attention, where your attention goes, energy flows, and then that's because you mind, meaning you're giving it your energy, you're creating it into matter, it is turning and transforming into form. So the only way to unlocking the keys to what it is you want to experience in this life is to recognize your mind. Your mindset matters because, see, mindset matters because your mind creates the matter. The mind is actually the bank. The thoughts that you think and the words that you speak are the currency. So you are the banker, and what you pay is for your experience. So when you tap into the wisdom of this, the knowing that when you have thoughts, if you're not conscious of them, they're running the show, they're mastering you. But when you can harness, you can slow down, you can breathe in, slow it down, get present, when you become very conscious and in awareness of your thought. What is your pattern? What is the constant record being played in your mind? Because the more you really tap into that, you may not like it. It may not be pleasant at first, but the only way to know is to really be present with it, to listen, to observe, to witness, and to recognize that you have a pattern. We all do. If you don't become aware of it, how can you correct it? How can you reprogram, rewrite your own story? Because the mind is creating the construct, creating the narrative, creating the story. The BS is your belief system. We're all, I know this and I know that. This is my experience and you don't know. You know what? None of that serves you. That's what keeps you small. That's what holds you back, is being so rigid in your BS, so dogmatic that this is the way it is, but this is how it's been, so this is how it's going to be. When you get all up in that shit, that grill is just ready to burn you. Because the more you fight for your limitations, you create more of them. So if you can actually challenge this, when you become aware of it, then you got the ammo to work with it. Just like anything, like when you're in a relationship with somebody and you have a conversation with one person, go, well, I think this, and you create a story around the reason a person's a certain way. You create a story when you're unwilling to confront them. When in reality, you would save yourself all sorts of time and energy. You would save yourself the suffering and the exhaustion and the energy that you put into creating their story for them. Like, why do people do that? Why are you defending somebody? Why don't you just ask them? Have a conversation, have a dialogue. It may not be pretty at first. You may not like what you hear, but in the end, at least you'll come to the truth instead of your little Pollyanna or your crazy mind that wants to create a story that doesn't even exist. It's not even real. So I'm going to go over what I wrote. And this just completely flowed through me. And I shared it with the girlfriend today because I was just really in a flow. And this is how This is how I go. This is my life. This is my life, and this is my gift. And this is a gift I was given. This is actually a gift from many lives. That I do know. And the funny part was, first, I'll couple things I want to share. On Saturday, I had the most beautiful glass snake appear to me. I've never seen a snake like this before, and the only reason I know it's a glass snake is because I described it to a friend who's very much into reptiles. And literally, it was black with an iridescence around it. I had just been moving some pots around in the backyard. And when I lifted this one, it was glistening. The whole back of it had this stream of liquid gold with a little bit of this patterning. It was like, it reminded me of my girlfriend that I saw today. I looked at her ring and I said, that ring that you're wearing, because she had amber and it's a snake ring, you can't make this stuff up. Because I was there last week, I believe, and I saw her ring and I remembered this. When I saw her ring, it was what reminded me that the liquid gold that was all along its back, it was literally straight along the back. I'd never seen a snake so gorgeous. I wish I could have gotten a picture, but it was just meant for me in that moment. Her snake ring has an amber stone in it. And that was very similar because there was little, like, it was like liquid gold. If you know what that looks like, and like with the specks of amber, with the black and the, to illuminate, it was just gorgeous. Snakes are representative of Kundalini energy, of creation, of transformation, and there's a lot going on for me right now. Then last week I had seen this. This is a raw piece of pink opal. It is not polished, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's a key. Now, at the time, I wasn't aware. In fact, what was funny is when I walked in, so this morning I went to my yoga class, and as I went to take these are intention bracelets by my girlfriend Shireen, and I was wearing Archangel Michael this morning, which is like purples and reds. I went to take it off and it exploded. It completely broke. So I thought that was ironic because the theme that we were talking about was about freedom and creating space. And when we talk about freedom, it's about releasing all the clutter of the mind. And to breathing in is actually creating the space to clear that out. And it also strengthens the nervous system. So with that, I went to go bring my bracelet into the shop so that they could send it off to have it fixed. And I remembered as I walked in, because there's this beautiful tray, this mirrored tray with a bunch of different stones in the form of keys. One is aventurine and a tiger's eye and all that. And I looked at that and it immediately was reminded, oh, that's right, I have the pink one, and I couldn't remember, it was pink opal. So I'm like, first thing I see my girlfriend Sylvia, and I said, you're never going to believe this. And I told her about the bracelet and how that exploded. And I said, we just had the full moon. And this is just the story of my life, is glass shattering, bracelets breaking, malas exploding, like when energy discharges, there's different ways that it shows up in my life when major rumblings of change are coming through. And those are just a couple that I'm sharing. So with this opal, as she handed it to me and we started talking, I started sharing with her what had channeled in last night about time, and then today about the mindset matters. So let's begin. I titled it Mindset Matters, and I did a video earlier today because I was at the gym and had a great workout, and I was just reminded about how much it's a play on words, but it's real, it's reality, and how words have energy. And so when we speak things into existence, we don't realize how much power we truly have in manifesting. So mindset matters. It's the mind that manifests focused energy, also known as your thoughts, into matter. The mind is actually the machine we need to harness, optimize, and fine-tune its mechanisms, because that's ultimately what creates this and our individual realities. You can not deny what you think becomes things. You've experienced it at least once or twice in your life that you can put a thumb on. You are a powerful manifester, so make sure that your mind is focused only on what truly matters to you and what you want to bring to you and create into form. That's where we, like I said, that's why we need to manifest. The mental floss, clear that out. Become aware of what's going on up in there. If you're not aware, it's unconsciously going to run the show and you're going to be the slave to your mind. So pay more attention to your mind and recurrent thoughts, because literally your focused energy is your most valuable currency. You pay for what you experience, all up in here. Your mind is your bank, so cash in on that abundance and learn to be more resourceful with it. You are the currency. You are the banker of your life. Stop looking for the external money. It's all in here. This is the secret key to magnetizing abundance and money manifestation. It's all about your mindset banking. What are you collecting interest on? Or are you making poor investment choices with your energy and focus and appreciation? Because when you're idolizing outside of yourself, like celebrities, and I want to be like that, you're actually giving them your money, your currency, your energy focus, because you're making them more important than you becoming what you are meant to do. It's one thing to be inspired by them. It's another to be totally influenced to the point where you're wanting to be them. Because that in itself is what gives them more power, more energy, and they're the ones that are continually cashing in on your currency and investment. So, where attention goes, energy flows and grows. We all want to glow, so you got to glow up. Attention, intention, and appreciation is what gains you interest. Pay yourself well with the wellspring of interest into you. Interest, inter, not outer. The wellspring comes from within, not going without. To draw it in, it has to come from within. Think about that. Let me say it again. To draw it in, it has to come from within. Nothing outside of you is coming from outside of you. It's coming from within you. Everything that you experience has been a thought. You manifested it. You created it. And once you own that and claim that, now you're powerful. Not putting all that energy outside. Both the spirit, the breath, with the mind and the body is what it's all about, that holy trinity. When you breathe, that creates space because that's spirit. And when you create space in the body, now you magnetize yourself even more. This is why I do breath work. This is why I do rebirthings. This is why this is my passion. This is my life. This is what I'm here for. So again, meditation is meant to be mental floss. And your mind matters because your thoughts are your currency, your mind is the bank, and how you invest becomes manifest. And so matter has been regulated by time. And I want you to really think about this. So this is where I continue to go with this. Nothing's personal. It's just frequency. It's just energy. But because us humans, we make things personal, we make things about ourselves, even though technically most people aren't paying attention to it. Where you may think that person did something to you, they're probably not even thinking about you. You're the one giving them your energy and your attention. You're making them more important than you. So when we play the victim and we get upset at others, we're actually just feeding them. We're not feeding ourselves. That's when you need to turn within and go, why is this bothering me? Why am I upset? Why does this matter? You've created the scenario with your way of thinking. By being triggered by something and then reacting to it, essentially what you've done is said, that's important. Let me make more of it, make a big deal out of it. And then people wonder why they suffer. Because they have chosen to make something out of nothing. That's matter. That's your mind manifesting into form. Where there's no problems, typically people create them, and it's all up in their frickin' heads. Do you see how crazy making this can become? It's a real thing. This is life. And once you really tune into it, you harness it. Like I said, the mind is this mechanism, this machine. It's your bank. You need to really be better with budgeting. That's the bottom line. You need to learn the financial foundation of yourself, not about a bank account. Most people can't even manage their money, but it's because they can't manage themselves. When you can really manage all of this, all that's going to fall into place. You're going to draw stuff into yourself that you're going to be like, wow, that's magical. Because that's the way it's supposed to be. You want to see your life unfold and flow and the magic carpet be rolled out for you? Get right in your mind and you will manifest that into form. Like when you surrender to something in such a way that you're not attached to things, that in itself is freeing you up. That is decluttering your life. You create obstacles when you become attached to things, and then you trip over them. If you really think about it, that's how that works. You're walking down an aisle and you're thinking, oh, I'm all in the flow, and you're trying to convince yourself. A lot of times this is when you're not really fully there. And then you're tripping over one thing and you're like, that really upset me, because you're attached to it being a certain way. Attachment is what leads to our suffering. Expecting things to be a certain way, and when they aren't, then we react to them as opposed to, oh, well, that's a shame, but I'm not going to be upset by it. You know, these are just human silliness. So, because nothing is personal and it's just frequency, but when you know yourself so well, when you know thyself well, you can use that frequency as your currency, since your mind is the bank of your energy. Just something to sit with. Never discount the amount of healing that you do on you, because that's meant for everyone too. So when you do the work for you, it's actually rippling out. So that is why I am selfish about healing, why I do the work that I do. Because I know everything I do, it affects you too. You may not realize it, but because that's how the collective collaboration works, that when you're in unity, that's more powerful of energy. When you come together with others who are doing the same type of work, may not have the same intention, but because you're willing to work on yourself, to clear old traumas, to get out of your shit, because you're like, listen, I've had enough of it. Sometimes you have to get sick of your own shit to really clean it up. And then when you're there, it's like, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? But when you do the work, that's helping others. That's also inspiring, because people see you and they see the glow, and then they see how good you're doing, and they're like, I want some of that. You know, that's how that works. Like, I've had that all my life, and I just never realized that so many people could think it was so easy either, because I've had my challenges in life. But at the same time, I don't let them keep me down. They've made me stronger. They've shown me how resilient I am, and God never gives you more than you can handle. I'll just say that. And I know this time has been challenging for a lot, because I know I've been going through so much and have literally been broken wide open. Ever since I had my explant, I am here to tell you that the more you get in tune with yourself and you truly clear out all the excess, like breast implants, they're a foreign substance. They're not even a part of me, but I put something in me that was foreign. And so my body was not completely, I was suppressing my heart. I had a shield up. That right there was just mind-blowing. I did not expect to be broken wide open the way I have been. But I can also tell you, It's enhanced my intuition even beyond what it already was. And it was already pretty strong. And I felt I was pretty clean. And I felt like, wow, I'm pretty good. Now we're taking it to another level. That's where I'm at in my life. Like, wow, there's levels to this. And let's keep going. Because to me, that's exciting. I'm ready. I'm here for it all. I ain't holding back. I got nothing to hide. My life is golden as far as I'm concerned. I'm just like, phew. Keep the eye on the prize. Don't let people and things and stuff get you caught off guard. Don't get distracted by the noise. The noise is there to distract you. Everything else that's going on around you, it's all smoke and mirrors. The only thing that's real is what's within you. And then what you see outside of you is just going to reflect back at you where you're at, because where you're at is where it shows up to you. Life shows up to you where you're at. So whatever shows up to you, you have to question, how did I attract this? How is that reflecting back to me where I'm at and treating myself? You can always ask yourself, what is this situation here to teach me? What do I need to learn or be aware of in this moment? Even the better one is to tap into your inner child, because that's the one that's usually screaming, kicking and screaming, that causes you to get triggered and upset about things. So if you get triggered by something, you need to go, okay, little one, what is this bringing up for you? Notice in your body where you're feeling it. Ask your little one, I'm sorry, I've neglected you. What is it that I can do for you now? Because at this point, you're an adult. You didn't get your childhood needs met when you were younger, so you developed certain coping mechanisms and survival skills that you continued out through in adulthood, like a lot of us, A lot of adults running around like monkeys throwing shit at each other. Hey, meet my need because I need it met. Thinking everyone's a mind reader to figure you out when you haven't figured out yourself. Like, that's a real humbling one right there. A lot of people that they're adults running around with unmet childhood needs, trying to get them fulfilled by people around them that are also unhealed. Because hurt people, and unhealed people attract more unhealed people to play out their trauma dramas. Because like I've said in other videos, your inner child, when you're not giving it attention and you're freaking out as a result because that inner child is like acting out within you, what your inner child will do is call in a third party and say, I'm mad at you and you're not listening to me. It's like a temper tantrum. That's what it's going to do. You are such a powerful manifester. Your inner child will pull in a third party so that you can play out an old trauma story to try to heal it. Because when you recreate and re-experience similar stories, with different characters, all that's doing is giving you another opportunity to do it differently. Are you going to keep doing the same thing over and over again? See, that's the definition of crazy. So yeah, you've got an old wound. And then here comes the old trauma because your inner child called it in and you weren't paying attention. Are you going to continue to react the same way? Because again, you're the main character in the starring role of your life. Or are you playing an extra in someone else's? Are you playing the catalyst for someone else? Are you also poking and provoking? Because sometimes that's an old wound too, where you like to be nasty. Like, we all do crazy stuff, but you've got to be good with it. You've got to own it, or it will own you. So never discount the amount of healing you do for yourself, because that's meant for everyone. Every single person gets healed when you heal you. And that, of course, affects the generations behind you and forward, 7 or 8 generations. So I want you to really sit with what's going on in the world. This is not new stuff, people. This has been happening. This isn't the first time we've been through something like this. Most of us, we've been here before. And time is simultaneous. We're experiencing the past. We just don't see it because our abilities have been dampened. Pineal glands calcified, gifts suppressed, we are multi-sensory, extrasensory humans, but most of us are numbed out to that because when you've had trauma, that induces a numbing effect, a disassociation, a disconnect. So when you numb the pain, you numb the joy. And when you have experienced extreme trauma, you disassociate. And what that causes is your inability to also experience extreme pleasure, which is why people fall into addiction. Because when you have had such a traumatic experience in your life, it's very challenging, it's very difficult to experience extreme pleasure, because again, when you numb the pain, you numb the joy. And when you're disassociated, disconnected from your body, you're disassociated from your spirit, your breath, your nervous system can't handle anything. Like, this is really the root of a lot of the problems in the world, is the disconnect from ourselves. That's where we need to get back to. Because when you reclaim your power, that's what's going to heal this world, is us coming together. That 100th monkey syndrome. And I'm going to say that the powers, the forced powers, because power versus force is everybody innately has power. Force is the appearance of having power, or the giving up. It's not real. It's not in integrity. It is a forced, manipulated form of power. So those particular forces are trying to hijack us. They know the secret. They know the secrets that they have withheld from us. They know the secret to manipulate and manifest by harnessing our minds. What you see playing out in the world stage, the more it's out in your face, the more you attach to it. Conscious or unconscious. If you're somebody who watches TV and you play it in the background, that's subliminally programming you. You don't want to believe that it can influence you, but it is doing that. Because there's more than just the words that are being said or spoken. There's the frequencies. There's the energy. And again, we don't just take in data through our ears. We take it in through our eyes. If music is played, it evokes in us memories. And that's how a lot of things are lodged within us, is through the association of all these key ingredients. Years ago, when I think I was 18 or 19, I was dating a DJ. And it was fascinating to me to listen and witness how there would be, the disc jockeys, the people who you would listen to, they get up to speak and they would insist on background music. And the reason being is because most people will listen to the radio, but they like to have the music to keep their attention. So to have someone speaking, insisting on having music in the background, this is what my DJ boyfriend at the time told me. He said, it's so bizarre, but I get it. He goes, because most people will tune the person who's talking out unless there's music being played too. Think about that. Marketing 101, they use certain colors to evoke something in you, because every color has its frequency and vibration. The chakras are all aligned with colors. The sounds that are playing, the actual voices and the tones of speaking, everything's meant to evoke an emotion in you, because if you can get put in that fear space, then it's easier to manipulate you. Because most people, when they're in the fear space, will give up their safety and security for certainty. So they know how to harness the minds. They're stealing our currency by way of focused energy, frequency, to disempower us while empowering themselves. When I say empowering, I don't mean EMPOWERING. I'm talking about like it's a forced, manipulated empowerment. It's not a true power. It's forced. It's manipulated. They know what they're doing because they know the secrets, and they have withheld them from us for generations, actually. That's why there are secret societies and occults. But see, the thing is they're losing. And it's always been meant to come to an end, to a close. And I really believe time has a lot to do with this, because that's the man-made imprisoned system. The prison system is us being locked into time. when in reality we're infinite. Our souls are infinite. This human existence is all based on time. So when you really sit with that, and if I get to it, I'll explain that too. But see, I want you to understand this is power versus force. And this is force manipulation, not innate power. And when we reclaim our power, they lose theirs. That's how that works. But you got to go within, because everything is within you. It's not outside of you. When you learn that and you really harness it, reclaim it, unstoppable. So they're losing the position of their force power because it's our turn to take the reins. And when I say the word reins, I mean it is our right. We are the original royalty. That in true essence, we're the ones who are meant to be on the throne with an open crown. Royalty, the true heirs to this throne of life, wearing the crowns of glory. The key is going within to reveal our innate power. They lose their power when we reclaim ours. Everything outside of us is just noise. Pretty much. They've known all along that their time was coming. But does this mean that the time prison system will be lifted off of us and imprisoning them? That's the question I have. So it's about you being the author of your story. Naturally makes you the authority of your life. So this is some crazy stuff, but last night I sat with the time, and this isn't the first time I've sat with this, where it was really like, time. Time is constraining. It's a restraint. It's like literally like you're shackled, like you're born this time, you're gonna die within a certain time, you will expire because your time is limited. All these old sayings, you can't get back time. What is that? It's man-made. Who came up with the numbers? The gematria, the coding. There's an architect, and he's really clever. Or maybe it's all us. And we just created this game because my reality, my belief, the way that ever since I was a little girl, I always saw this world as like, this is technically to me a game, and that we wiped our memories clear of all our past lives. Although somehow I seem to retain some things, because as children we were conditioned and programmed into believing certain things. And as a result of that, it wipes what we know within us. And I feel like when you get older and the wisdom comes through your experiences, you start to recognize what was still true even when you were young. Things that maybe you'd forgotten during the time of your life, in the course of it. So yeah, our memories get wiped, but the truth is we're still souls and we're meant to remember at some point. Some people, maybe they never remember in the life, maybe it's in the transition. But time is man-made and everything we do literally revolves around it. We're confined by time. It's impossible to think outside of it. We're trapped in time with no way out. We're pressed by time and under so much pressure. Time is our master and we serve it. We hear it ticking like a time bomb, yet it's not real. It's all made up. It's intangible, but ironically, agreed upon by the collective consciousness. Like the Grim Reaper, it looms over and around us. But time doesn't exist, it's just that we insist. Our life has expiration based on this contradiction. The paradox of days and nights, yet these hours with numerical value have no significance. If we were to abandon time, would we find our infinite life? I've really pondered this one. Is that the secret key to infinity? Would we expand more into our potential, our unlimitedness? If time ceased to exist, would aging also cease? This is just one of my deep thoughts, one of my many. I believe time is the illusion, a criminal collusion, designed to extend our fear into believing in a limitation that does not exist. Yet we do. We base all of our beliefs upon time. Life is short, and that short time is based on the amount of time we feel we are limited to in this human existence. But what if we stopped playing the time game? What if choosing to turn the clocks off would literally give us back our power? What if that's the true key? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If we just turned off the clocks, we stopped playing into the time game, stopped giving away our time, our energy, our currency, imagine what would really change, because it certainly wouldn't remain the same. What if time is the key to becoming infinity? That maybe our soul would become more powerful, more expanded. Can you imagine that? Can you even fathom that? Time is one thing we use to plan our days and lives. Why do we revolve around it rather than our deep soul yearnings and heart desires? Money is based on time and exchange of energy. Our worth equated to time. Time is the one thing you can't get back. In essence, that's your essence. Your time, your energy, your manifestation, your focus, your feeding a machine. What is behind the time machine? Ooh, I like that one too. That just dropped in. What is behind the time machine? Think about that one. We watch all of these movies that give us clues, give us little insights, little snippets of truths. Clues and truths, snippets, little truths and the lies, lies and the truth. Can you discern? When you get to know thyself so well, you'll be able to discern the lies from the truth and the truth from the lies. What is behind this time machine? What feeds it? Us. Is the time machine the architect? The one that had constructed all of this? Even the word time is used in referencing a moment in time. A moment is time. But is it? That we have agreed upon. Once again, it's a collective collaboration. If more people would research and decode themselves, there would be less of this mass chaos going on around us. Know thyself is the oldest known secret to mastering thyself. And that's what I wrote. And that's what I wanted to share. That so many of us are distracted by the external noise that we're losing sight of the keys within us. You want to unlock the door to your destiny? Get the key to your own code. Decode your reality. Decode your inner self. Understand yourself rather than understand, try to figure everyone else out. That's a bunch of poppycock. No. Life is funny, but only because the paradox is we make it more serious than it needs to be. We're here to have fun, to play, to reinfuse this life with color, to bring back the golden age, which I believe is when we disconnect from time. Let go of it. Stop relying on it. Stop giving that credence and attention, energy. So the two most important things to really take away from this is to recognize the mind is your bank. Your thoughts are currency, that is your energy. what you pay it with, where your attention goes, energy flows. You are creating, manifest. What you invest, your thoughts, your currency, your energy becomes manifest. Are you getting a good return on your investments? Are you budgeting your energy, your mindset properly? When you get right in here, everything out there is going to change. You want to manifest abundance, money, the most beautiful life, whatever it is you want to manifest, get right in here, and it'll all be out here too. Because everything you need is within you. You need to create that space. That's the truth. That's the key to unlocking your life. Because most of us, we're on lockdown. We are in prison. We are all slaves to the system. And that's time. And we are falsely idolizing man and it's bullshit. At what point are we all going to turn around and realize, I'm done. Thank you very much. Open up the new door because you got the keys inside. Can we do it alone? We're better together, you know? The more people that wake up in unity, then we create a whole new reality. We're not here to fix the system. We're here to dissolve. This is why most of us are here. I've known it since I was a little girl. We're here to bring play back, to make life fun again. The only way that's going to happen is if you agree upon it and you recognize it's not been fun for a while, not for some things. At least my life, I try to draw it in. It has to come from within. Let's reclaim our power, people. We deserve it. It's our turn. It's our time. We are the powerful manifestors. It's about time. Seriously. Pink opal. Isn't that pretty? It's got some pretty blue too. And my beautiful sunflowers making their appearance to make me happy. My happiest flower. I hope you take away some beautiful golden nuggets from this particular broadcast. These are channels from past couple days, and I'm sure I'll have many more to come. But this is where we're at in the world. Whatever's coming up for you, deal with it now. Don't let it keep on festering. Don't let it linger longer. Don't let it fester. Don't let it become an old sore and get all stinky and all that stuff. You want a better life. Time to create it. And with that said, it's past my bedtime. I love you all very much. From my heart to yours, have a wonderful evening. I love you.